Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is kind of going to be a supplement video today. I normally don't add a video in the middle of the week other than our regular videos. However, I kind of decided I wanted to give you a few more Christmas movies to watch. And then we have to talk a little bit about one of the movies we reviewed. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so we reviewed Elf, Elves, and Killer Christmas Elves last night. However, in reviewing these and trying to keep non-spoiler-like about it all, I actually forgot to mention one of the coolest things that happens in Elves, the sequel to The Elf. Now, the thing of it is that this adds a whole bunch of cool things to it, and I really should have included it, but I was thinking about it being a spoiler, and I really should have just said it because I don't like overthinking myself, and I do it a lot. So, that being said, one of the coolest things that happens in this movie is that they are using the power of sort of possession to control the humans around them, making them into kind of the elves themselves, turning the victims that they have into elves. So essentially what they do is use them to kill other people. And that's kind of where you get the "he didn't come alone" in the poster. And that's kind of why it is sort of cool. Now they do have a couple other elves that they put in this movie that are the animatronics. But it is sort of very much when you see them, it brings to mind the whole thing with Puppet Master, because that's really sort of what it reminds me of anytime I see animatronics moving. Like that, little puppet type of things moving automatically makes me go to Puppet Master. And this movie does have that. Just like the original one, just like The Elf had it, the Elves still has that. Elves still is a good movie, despite the fact that it really could have used more of what made the first one work. But as I said, in an effort to keep it non-spoiler, I kind of just glossed over one of the biggest, coolest things that they did that made it look like it was even more awesome than it was. Because the one thing about that is some of the scariest scenes in the movie revolve around these possessions and the people getting this evil sort of elf smile on their face. So that being said, let's get into the other movies that we have to talk about today. So in keeping with the horror Christmas stuff, I wanted to give you a few more, but time constraints and everything sort of made it a little bit impossible. But now we're going to look at a couple more movies that you could be watching this Christmas that are horror related. So first up is Once Upon a Time at Christmas from 2017. Now the movie has these two psychotic people that are dressed up like Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus. And the joke here is that he's very demented. And she plays it more like she's Harley Quinn. Essentially, Harley Quinn from DC Comics as Mrs. Santa Claus the Killer. And it's really funny because the movie does offer up some gore, it offers up some scares. It is one of the better Santa slasher movies that I have seen in a while, so I highly recommend you check that one out. But if you are a fan of that one after you check it out, just a heads up, it has a sequel. And its sequel is The Nights Before Christmas from 2019. This movie has them returning after a brief absence to continue their slaughtering of this small, unfortunate little town. And it's equally as twisted. The guy playing Santa Claus is still really demented, and the actress playing Mrs. Claus is still doing the whole Harley Quinn type of vibe. And it works really well for them as characters. For some reason, this movie just really is fun. I found the second one to be as fun, or if not more fun, than even the first one. Okay, and if you're still in need of something to watch after that lo and behold, the movie has a sequel that's supposedly in pre-production, and that is called One Christmas Night in a Toy Store. So these two are planning a return, and I couldn't be more excited. However, I don't think we're gonna see it this year during Christmas, but who knows, maybe next year this movie will be out and you can watch that as well. The next movie we're going to talk about is Sleigh Bells from 2018, and it is about these three girls who kind of stumble onto things they shouldn't stumble onto, namely Krampus. And Santa Claus has to come to actually help them. They find that they're working with Santa Claus to stop Krampus, and the movie is kind of funny. It doesn't take itself seriously. It is very gory, though, and should satisfy gore hounds. So definitely check that out if you're looking for something a little bit more lighthearted as well as a bit comical. You could do worse than this movie. And then what would Christmas be without one really super bad film for me to tell you, watch this at your own risk? This year, that movie belongs to Bigfoot vs. Krampus from 2021. Coming in at just an hour and 9 minutes, this movie is probably an hour and 8 minutes too long. It is one of these movies that tries to be something, and I'm not even sure what it's trying to be. The idea is that Krampus is trying to get to the surface world where there are people fighting and there's spaceships and all sorts of craziness. The movie is this animated style with a lot of language and not really a lot to offer. I don't want to give away too much about this movie just in case you really want to watch it, but honestly, I can tell you after you see the first couple minutes of this movie, it may be one of the worst Christmas movies I think I've ever seen. So definitely watch at your own risk. But we want to hear from you. Alright, so as always, we want to know what you guys think. Leave us a comment in the comment box below. Don't forget to share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of the conversation as well. Make sure you hit that like button. It's free. It helps the channel. We appreciate it. Miko says we need more subscribers, and you don't want to disappoint Miko, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that notification bell too so you don't miss a single video we do. And then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom's family.